Well, Magpie,
Well, Constantine,
let's do it.
we leave tomorrow.
We leave tomorrow.
Ooh.
We just spent all morning running around in like a circle.
Yeah.
Getting stuff done.
Getting stuff done.
Getting more cookies to eat before we leave because this has been the biggest necessity.
These are really good cookies, guys. If you're over in Vermont, you gotta go to Shaw's. They're really good.
The lady that checked us out says she washes down an apple with a cookie every day because it's the
too
thing
good.
to do, yes.
So we got your questions right here.
Yep.
We're gonna take turns reading them off. So why don't we start?
Yeah, so
I kind of grouped them into like rough categories because a couple of people asked like very similar questions. So we're gonna not be going in order. We're going in a logical order.
and we'll say y'all's names. It looks like she has the names there,
Yes, I
so
do.
we'll just go through the name and then we'll just switch off who's asking and who's answering because it seems it's a group question. We both
Yep.
can answer. Yeah, so we'll start.
So starting with logistics questions, Will Got No Chill asks, other than marking it off the National Scenic Trail list, why do y'all want to do the NCT?
Because it's super big.
It's
Like
long.
it's giant. That's at least my thought. I find the cookie got to my head. I couldn't think. I find the logistical challenge of pushing hard miles for 4 or 5 months, which I've done before, but not as many miles in those 4 or 5 months, is really cool.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I wasn't actually super excited about the NCT when Constantine first floated it to me. He was thinking about it like 2 years ago on the PNT. But as I looked into it, I kind of got excited about it, like looking at going through the boundary waters. And I did a coast to coast and back again bike ride in 2016. And I went through Upper Michigan and I went kind of paralleled the Superior Hiking Trail. And so it turns out when I looked into it that like some of the bike paths that I was on that trip were actually the NCT. I just didn't know what it was at the time. So I'm pretty excited to be going back there because Upper Michigan and some of the other places in the Midwest have really, really beautiful areas. So I'm excited about it.
There's so much on a long trail. It's the length. That's what grabs me.
The challenge.
The length and the challenge along with it. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of stuff along 4,600 miles. Even if a lot of it is road or bike.
We don't mind road walking.
You're going to see a lot of stuff.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. So, Jay asked, when do you start?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow.
That one's quick. Quick and easy. Wow, we moved through that one quick.
Yep.
High five, Jay.
Lenny Hikes asked, when approximately do you expect to complete the NCT? Will you need winter gear at the end? And how often do you plan to take 0 days? So we're kind of thinking that we'll be done sometime in October.
Yeah, hopefully not too late in October. It's going to get cold on the plains.
Yeah, so we're going to be in North Dakota and Minnesota. Ooh, big truck coming by.
Don't buy one of these. They're terrible. It's like cotton candy.
So yeah, we're going to be finishing up in sort of like late fall. So we'll be, I don't know about winter gear. We're not packing like a 4-season tent or like winter camping stuff. But we definitely are bringing some more layers with us because we're starting kind of early spring and we'll be finishing early to mid fall. So we're definitely bringing some warmer layers with us.
With the pace we're doing, we're not going to need full winter gear. As long as it's long as it's not an early winter. The only thing I can see either replacing or upgrading along the hiker's gloves, and
you might need new gloves. Yeah.
Besides that, the gear that we have that we start off with is going to be pretty much. Don't buy these. It's going to be pretty much the gear that we continue the entire trail with. So, yeah, as the completion, as she said, fallish.
Mid-October.
Yeah.
Maybe early October.
And how often do you plan to take zeros? As often as our bodies ask.
We're going to probably be doing more Neros than zeros. So Nero is near 0 miles. So when you hike a couple of miles into town and stay, but we're going to be passing through developed areas pretty frequently. So we're definitely not going to be stopping in every town we pass. I'm thinking maybe like once a week.
It's probably
some kind of a rest day.
It seems like it averages out to about once a week, if that's a Nero or 0 day.
Yeah.
On any long trail.
We don't really do zeros anymore, is the thing. We've like just been doing Neros.
Big Neros.
Because it's cheaper than zeroing rather than like.
It's a big Nero.
Big Nero is like a contradiction in terms. If it's a big amount of miles and it's not near 0.
It's a big Nero.
Big Nero.
It's a big Nero.
So.
7 days, it averages out to that.
Probably.
On any long distance hike, you don't want to push 7 days of no laundry and
it gets pretty smelly.
Yeah, not getting off your feet.
But I mean, yeah, we don't really do 0 days anymore. Partly just because it's like logistically a bit of a hassle to like get into town, get into the hotel, stay the full day, and then leave. Like and it saves a bit of money too. Because if you Nero into a town
and 0, Nero then 0, you're spending 2 nights in a hotel.
Yeah, or even if you hike into a town at like 6 p.m., get a hotel room. Like, you don't want to do that. You're spending money for no reason. So we like to hike into a town early in the morning, get breakfast, drop off at the hotel, have a shower, and then it feels like we've got a full rest day in.
And with most of these miles being flat or flatter, you can do 20 by 10 a.m. or noon, depending how early you wake up. So
Yeah.
even being on like the cusp of a town, we're going to big Nero into it and still have all day in town.
Yeah.
So yeah, not many zeros.
Yeah.
Not that we
But you
perceive.
can never ever skip town breakfast leaving town because you will regret it within like half an hour. Never skip
it.
Never skip breakfast.
Skip it and test that mentality.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, it makes me frustrated as well.
Okay, so it's your turn to read.
Jim Harder and Matt Gross.
Gross. Probably.
Gross or Gross? I like Gross. If you like Gross,
Let us know.
That's your name as well. It's what your name is. Do you have an overall ballpark for budget / how did you work out a budget for the NCT / how often do you plan on staying in hotels, towns versus tenting? That kind of
I
ties
think we
into
covered the last one.
to that one. So yeah, ballpark for budget.
I don't know if we have a budget.
As far as budget, the longer you hike, the easier it is to not have to like make a spreadsheet of this is exactly how much I'm going to spend in this town. This is exactly how much I'm going to spend in this town. It averages out to about $1,000 a month. When you're hiking with a partner, it might be a little more than $1,000 a month.
But we split the expense, so it ends up being a bit cheaper being a partner hike because
Sometimes the GDT was a special case because some of those places were pricier.
yes, some of
But
those places were super pricey. But for most
Midwest,
hikes, like if you're
yeah.
staying in a more budget motel, which is all you really need, it's $60 a night here and there. I spend a little bit more on resupply than Constantine does. My resupplies for 5 days end up being about $20 to $25 a day. His are more like $10 to $15 a day.
Yeah.
But like it's easier than trying to think about a budget for the whole trail. Just think about like your resupply points when you're trying to make a budget. So you're like, okay, I've got like, if I'm spending $20 a resupply and I've got this many resupply stops, then you can kind of think about that's how much I need, and then think about how often you're going to stay in a hotel, and then add like 10% because there's always weird stuff that you have to buy too.
That's a hard question to ask from. That's a video or article onto itself because when we're thinking about budget, it's just subconscious at this point that you know what you spend.
Yeah.
So we know we're not going to spend over $1,500 for a month. $1,000 and $1,500 as a couple. That's on the high end. $1,500 on the high end. 1,000 in the middle, and you can even spend less.
I've done it cheaper. I've done it
averages.
cheaper. I
Yeah.
did like the PCT on just over $2,000. I mean, I never stayed in hotels. Knew I was on a strict budget. The Canadian dollar was weak, so I spent I think $2,200 on the whole PCT. It's easier to do that when you're on a trail that's more popular because then you can like split motel rooms with big groups of hikers and like buy cheaper food, stay in campgrounds, and just shower at other people's rooms. On a more remote trail where you are the only person or the only couple out there, then you have to spend for a hotel
Averaging
room.
about $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
That would be it. And as for that town and tenting thing, I think we answered that 6 out of 7 days tenting, and then maybe the 7th hotel. Have to charge stuff, have to upload videos.
Yeah.
7th day, 6 out of 7 days tenting. 1 out of those 7 days probably town.
Yeah. So Matt Donnellan
Oh,
asks
good job, Matt.
a lot of questions. Let's do them one by one.
Yeah.
So what are some special precautions you guys are taking for this trail versus other trails, just because it's so much longer than other trails? I know you guys have said that Constantine gets really skinny and Magpie kind of wastes away. Not my words.
Was it my words?
I think it was.
It was probably my
I'm
words.
not offended. By special precautions, I mean, like, do you plan on longer town stays or carrying more food per day or a different hiking style?
Okay, that's one question. Special precautions, just listening to our bodies more and eating better while I eat a cookie. That's at least what I'm thinking. Eating better
Yeah.
and just listening to the miles.
I had to talk him into packing out dinners, though, so, like, obviously he hasn't internalized that this is the plan yet, but, definitely trying to stay on top of, at least for me, like, nutrition and health so that my body can keep going, because, yeah, if I don't have enough variety in my diet, I do get quite skinny, so I'm planning to spend a little bit more on resupply just to make sure that I can get the good stuff that's going to make sure that I can keep the weight on. But we're not going to be altering our hiking style, really.
And fighting the mentality, I think that's a big point. It's a giant trail. You got 4,600 miles. You got to let yourself be okay with a day that you're not feeling great and be like, okay, I'm going to do 20 miles this day.
Yeah.
You got to, it's fighting the mentality. It's fighting yourself. That's how we're going to change it up, because we're both really stubborn. Dedicated.
Both really motivated.
Both really motivated.
Yeah.
We don't like the word stubborn. It's not a great word. So finding the spot inside your own mind that you're okay with saying, hey, I can just do a 20 today.
Like, take
It's
it
gonna
easy.
average, it's gonna average out.
Yeah.
Being happy with the decision.
Resting before we get hurt.
Yes, I like that.
So his next question is, are you guys doing anything different for this trail because of COVID or just like masks and normal stuff? I know some people are only doing boxes this year because of that, and some have rules about not hitching and or staying in towns.
Okay.
So we're probably not going to need to hitchhike very often on this trail. I don't think we'll hitch once. I don't think we even have to hitch once.
For the FKT rules, you're not allowed to hitch.
Yeah.
So we can't. We'll have a GPS tracker. We'll do all this stuff at the end of this to let you guys know all of that, but I don't think we're even allowed to hitch, and we don't.
I don't think we need to. I mean, this was part of our motive, like our reasoning last year too, for the trails we picked. It's because I feel really uncomfortable hitchhiking during COVID. So why are you still drinking it?
Because it's in front of me.
How about we do this?
No, I gotta drink it.
Okay.
It's terrible, but I gotta drink it.
Anyway, so we're gonna be staying in motels. Motels are pretty safe as long as they've got like a decent HVAC system. And of course, we're packing out masks. We're gonna be masking up whenever we're in populated areas and taking all of those normal precautions. But very exciting news. We are both eligible to get the vaccine in Ohio. So we're hoping that we can sign up for the single shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine down there. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be a big load off of mine.
We're walking road, and this trail too is not, I've touched on this in past videos, even last year. This trail is giant and you pass through a lot of areas, but you're not interacting with 100 people like you would be on the AT.
Yeah.
So the interaction, that's where a lot of, not the danger, but the transition could come from, and I don't perceive running into like any other hikers out there at all.
Yeah, we're not going to be in crowds.
Yeah, so if we're going into town, mask up.
Yeah. So what extremes are you guys looking at for this trail in terms of temperature,
So
bugs,
much.
weather, etc.?
So many different types.
So we touched on this a little bit, but a lot of extreme temperatures. We're going to have
hot.
Well, we're going to have
cold,
chilly spring weather, like
freezing,
rainy Vermont weather,
nasty,
super hot, sticky, muggy Midwestern summer.
No shirt, no problem.
And then
no pants, no problem.
Cold Midwestern, and then the
no
bugs.
Pants probably a big problem.
We're going to be going through some swampy areas in Upper Michigan and the Boundary Waters during black fly season, so that's going to be good. Weather, yeah, it's
a lot. I don't think we're going to hit tornado season in the Midwest, so I'm not worried about that.
I don't know. I was in the Midwest on my bike trip in like July, and I had to get a hotel in Minnesota because of a tornado warning.
Y'all should keep a cookie counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, rain, hot, cold.
Everything that you can
It's
expect.
a long trail. You're going to go through
all the
everything.
seasons.
Yeah.
And then what are you nervous/excited for about this trail?
Ooh, I got a big one for that. You want to answer that first?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm nervous or excited about. I always just get like the pre-trail jitters on the last day before we're leaving. So right now I'm just like, oh, did I forget anything? Is everything ready to go? Oh my god. Oh no. But I don't know. I'm just excited to be back on the trail. I'm excited to be doing a long trail that feels like an adventure. I'm very excited to be on a trail that's actually like a defined footpath after the GDT and the Vancouver Island Trail.
For the first day. Then our next 8 days of road, pretty much.
Sure, but it's not like bushwhacking.
No.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to not being in mortal danger.
Yeah, that's
I'm really
very
excited
important.
about that.
Yeah, I wrote an article on this about a week ago. I'm really excited. I'm always excited for trails. Nervous? I'm not nervous at anything about the trail itself. I am nervous that my own mind is going to start finding indifference in the hiking because it's such a long trail that I don't perceive it happening, but every day pushing those amount of miles on a lot of road, a lot of whatever it may be, I'm really hoping, it's kind of scary.
You don't want to be indifferent and like bored of hiking and just be like, well, whatever.
Because I don't want to lose that passion, because every single time I plan a hike, or anything about the hike, I'm very passionate about it. I don't want it to lose that kind of edge of the passion, and that makes me a little nervous.
Mm-hmm. So next one is you.
What percentage of the HM? Did we read the guy's name?
Yeah, we've got the rest of it.
HM. What percentage of the NCT is road walking?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I would be hard pressed to tell you an exact number. I would say it's 40 to 50%.
It's a high percentage.
Maybe, but that percentage, it's not all huddled in one. Like when we were routing our 10 days, we had like 5 miles of trail, 10 miles of road, 5 miles of trail, 15 miles of road, 10 miles of trail. Like it's very broken up, so it doesn't feel like all day road
endless
walks.
road walking. Yeah, and that makes it a lot easier too when it's like switching it up, because when you're on trail, sometimes if it's tough, you can be like, I just can't wait till I hit the road. It'll be nice to just like be able to go, and then after 10 miles of road walking, you're like, I can't wait till we get back on trail. I'm so bored.
Don't quote me on that road walk percentage.
I have no idea.
I honestly
I
don't
can't give
know.
you a good guess.
I'm assuming that it's 40 to 50 because it's so long. It routes you in these places that you have to road walk a lot. Don't quote me on
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So Jay says, does your goal of hiking 8,000 miles this year include all the backpacking to pick up your B-roll camera? Have you ever added the B-roll distance to your hikes?
First off, Jay, I'm offended that you think I take B-roll camera footage.
He doesn't.
I don't. The B-roll camera footage that I do take, if we can call it that, is while I'm walking. So I'm offended that you actually think I set up my camera to
He's
film.
not actually offended.
Offended.
You're not that professional.
I'm walking
around
out.
here.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Would
So-
you agree that Minnesota?
But I want to touch on this.
Okay.
So no, I do not add that into the mileage counter, and I've never added it into any of the hike counter. The reason that you may be curious about that 8,000 mile mark is because I touched on this on one of my videos. That's originally when I thought the Potomac Heritage Trail was actually like 1,000 miles. So Potomac Heritage actually turned out to be like right below 500. So that's why the math might be a little weird. I had thought it would be close to 8,000, and by the time we finish the NCT, it's going to be close to 7,000 that we did northbound, eastbound, westbound on Florida Trail, Potomac, New England, and then NCT. I'm hoping I can convince Magpie to maybe do some desert hiking to get up towards that 8,000. So we will see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Would you agree that Minnesota and Ohio appear to have hijacked the NCT?
Don't be better than this.
Baby.
Okay.
Okay, would you agree that Minnesota and Ohio appear to have hijacked the NCT and are routing you around every swamp, lake, tree, and tourist attraction in those states? Not that I'm complaining. I will be watching you, not hiking.
Hijacked is a fun word.
And then his next question is, if they straightened out the NCT, do you think it would end up in Alaska? That would be a great trail. I agree.
Yeah, that would be really cool if they straightened it out. You would walk from coast to coast.
Yeah.
Less at the 1,500 miles.
Yeah,
you
less.
could do it at
Also,
like 3,000 miles.
I mean, but then you could hike 100 miles up to Alaska, so.
Yeah, Alaska would be super cool. Hijack's is a very strong word. I would say they just want you to experience the state more.
But, generally, Jay, yes.
Okay, Matt Gross asked, Gross Gross, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your
Just
name.
call him Matt.
Matt. Hey, Matt. I'll be following your journey from Nodak, North Dakota. I googled that. North Dakota. I said will instead of what. What do you think the toughest part of the trail will be?
I think Ohio is going to be tough, mentally, the mental game, because it's a lot. That's one of the only sections that we have, like, long roadblocks, and it's a little bit discouraging when you, like, walk all day, and you wake up the next day, and you're like, what's on tap for today?
Yeah, I don't think
More road.
I don't think the toughest part of the trail is going to be a physical thing. I don't think it's going to be like the hardest mile on the AT or the bushwhacks on the GDT.
No.
I don't think it's going to be a physical aspect.
It's
I think
gonna be
it's
the
going to be the
mental game,
mental aspect of the quote unquote corn, cows, and mosquitoes. So yeah. I don't know. Just a long stretch of kind of not nothing, but a long stretch of a lot of road in one section. That's going to be the toughest.
So Beverly Bauer asks, when will you be going through Wisconsin? I started the IAT last week and watched your trail videos twice to get pointers.
Near my birthday. We're going to try to time it for my birthday.
Woo!
And I've tried to ask her if we can please camp in a cow field and just give them so many cuddles for the birthday.
I think that can be arranged.
Yeah. I don't think we can even...
I don't think
it's
we
a
can even
choice.
not
Yeah.
camp in a cow field. Like, we probably have to.
So June-ish, hopefully late June-ish. Mid to late June-ish.
Okay.
I can see that. A month to get close to there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope for that. If not, July. But I think June.
Jay asks...
Oh, you want me to ask?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Jay, again, B-roll, man. We got to talk about that. My family will be vacationing on Lake Vermilion, North Minnesota in July. When do you think you will be in that area? I'd love to prepare you a freshly caught walleye dinner if you can slow down. Can we slow down? But that's a question for you.
I mean...
No, that question.
When will we be in Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
We might be there in July.
Pretty plausible.
Yeah, it's very
Pretty
possible
plausible.
that we could get a nice fresh caught fish dinner.
Tail end.
Yeah.
Depends what time of July you're there. Tail end, mid-July. It depends on our pace.
Yeah, we don't totally know.
We'll see.
Matt Donelin asks, how often can we expect videos? Because I know it's going to be hard to stick to your schedule that you had this winter.
See, this is why I can't just say Matt, because this is a Matt Donovan. I like this question, though. I am actually going to switch it up a little bit. There's going to be about a week delay, but I'm going to do daily footage for the NCT. So, like, it's going to be day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So each video is going to be a day.
And hopefully they won't be 2 hours long.
Yeah, since my filming style is super long and the NCT hasn't been really documented as a through hike, I'm going to be jam-packing it full with information as well as Stumbles and Mumbles rambles. Mm-hmm. So each video day is going to be super long, so I'm going to break it into, each day. There's going to be about a week delay from when we start, so you can start expecting those May 6th or 7th, depending on our first town stop. But then from then on, it'll be daily.
All right, your turn to ask.
Lenny Hikes and Janice Nugget. Janice, I know you, and I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing the last name. Did they both ask the same question?
Pretty close, yeah.
When you complete this 11 Sky, what will you challenge yourselves with next? What will we?
Grab bag gear, baby. Woo!
Yeah.
We just can do whatever we want. We're gonna go hike some nice trails. Then we won't even have to do a full through hike up. We can just like cherry pick the best seasons. I don't know. We haven't totally decided what we're doing yet, but we've got a lot of stuff on our wish list, so we're gonna figure it out. We do need to do the Te Araroa in New Zealand pretty soon because I'm about to turn 30 and it's much harder to get visas to New Zealand over 30. So yeah, that's on the pipeline, but we're definitely looking into like the Uinta Highlands Trail, the Hayduke, the Grand Enchantment Trail, looking
Deserts, yes.
Yeah, looking into like maybe doing some sections of the PNT. I would really like to do the Great Divide Trail again when it's not like life-threatening.
And Buck, you're one sick puppy continuing to message me about these super long routes out west. Not cool.
I just finished chewing.
I'm getting stuck and they're getting stuck in my mind now, so.
He's not doing the National Historic Trails, I promise.
No. Yeah, we can't touch them. Grab bag here. Not a specific one, just have fun.
We're gonna figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, not 8,000 miles ago.
I will ask you these ones because these are about 11 skies.
Okay.
HM asks, if they create another National Scenic Trail, will you change the name of your company? I'm assuming it goes with the 11 trails, although I don't remember if that's actually true. Also, I don't see pants on your website. Will you be selling those?
First question, I will not change 11 Skies. 12 Skies doesn't have the same ring to it. 11 Skies has a nice ring. And we're already branded as 11 Skies, so won't be changing it. There's one guy out in Hawaii trying to make a 12th National Scenic Trail, and I messaged him the other day, and not thankfully because I want him to succeed, but it's a long process, so we have some time until we have to go hike the 12th National Scenic Trail.
Hiking in Hawaii would be awesome, though. Yeah.
If it gets passed, it's a long process to create a National Scenic Trail Congress. All that stuff.
They'd have to work and actually like pass a law or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They have to pass a bill to protect the land and all this stuff around that. But pants on the website? We got pants.
We got
what
pants.
Kind of question is that? We got
wearing
pants
them right now.
We
I
got
hope you
pants?
can see one at the table.
We've
I got them pushed up, but
I've heard those knees wailing.
yeah. So pants are on the website right now.
We got pants.
Yep. And then Jim Harder asks, I love the shorts you have on your site. Are there any thoughts on offering a larger size?
We also got larger sizes.
Woo!
We got pants in larger sizes.
Yes, and also, well, not smaller ones, but like they've got a more adjustable waistband, so hopefully they should fit a wider diversity of bodies. And that's been something that's been important to me that I've been pushing Constantine on is size and gender inclusivity. So that's a priority for us, and we're going to keep on.
It's always been gender inclusive. It's just the size, the first run was hard to make it the sizes we wanted to.
Yeah, we had some production issues at first, but now we have the sizes that we want to produce. And if you guys have any feedback on that, let us know. We can certainly incorporate that into our designs going forward.
Right now you can get a size 24 waist, which is super small, up to 46. And some of them may push 48. So message us if you're outside of that realm, but we're trying to hit as much as possible.
Yep.
Yeah. You want me to read?
Gear questions.
Oh, yeah, for the gearhead. HM, where did you find your double sleeping mat? I can't find a two-person version anywhere. I'll read the aside after you answer that question. Yeah.
So the double sleeping mat's from Big Agnes. I got it from a Canadian local gear store called Valhalla Pure Outfitters. They only had a couple left in stock, so these guys have been actually really tricky to find. I emailed the rep for Xped through my work email account, and they say that they're not going to be having any double sleeping mats available until November, but if you can wait, I really do like the Xped, what's it called? The Xped SynMat UL Duo. We used to use that one, and then I let it get moldy in the garage, because I'm an idiot.
It was pretty moldy.
It was really bad. That was completely my fault, though.
The double sleeping mat was super nice in
really hard to
quarantine,
find,
too.
though. Yeah, having it on the floor where we watch
cuddle.
TV.
Very nice cuddle mat.
Yeah, and then there are a couple other manufacturers that make them for like car camping, but in my research, the only ones that I could really find that were making lightweight enough sleeping mats were the Xped SynMat Duo and the Big Agnes SLX Q Core. So there you are.
Aside. Oh, so many cookies. I enjoyed reading Magpie's more detailed explanation of the gear. Wondering what she thinks of Siploy, Sopoli fabric for tents. I think that's what it's called, you and me both. Not as water absorbent as silicone, but cheaper than DCF.
So Sil poly fabric and not as water absorbent as Sil nylon, but cheaper than DPF.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I actually didn't know about Sil poly until you brought it to my attention, and I got a link for you with some information
Expected better.
in the description. But after I looked into it, I think that the main drawback with Sil poly is the lack of abrasion resistance. And it is cheaper than DCF, but it is still a little bit more expensive than Sil poly. It's also tough to find anything made out of Sil poly. I think it's mainly used in tarps just because it's got that higher water resistance factor, and you don't need to have like a floor, because Sil poly is very, very fragile. It's got a much looser weave than Sil nylon. So, you know, if you can find one and try it out, I would be curious about your experience of it, but I don't think it's going to become as universal as DCF and Sil nylon just because it's got that durability issue.
Wow. It's like I was listening to a foreign language.
Mm-hmm.
Are we showing forearms in this video?
I always show forearms.
Okay.
All right.
Push the cookies out.
Matt Donnellan asks, what is one piece of gear that you guys believe is overrated and one that is underrated by the hiking community?
Ultras. Overrated. I love them, but I hate them at the same time. Love-hate relationship. I don't like using them with a hate. Is that overrated? Overrated. Underrated balaclavas. It is like a warm mask for your face, and I love it.
What do I think is overrated?
Pants? I think pants, even though we create pants, I think pants are overrated too.
You just want me to hike naked. I think bras are overrated. You don't need a bra if you have like, I don't know. I mean, you know your body best, but like, just don't wear one. If you've got small boobs, just like don't wear it. Weight cuts down on pack shape, and like you'll be comfy. You'll not even wear one like at home as much as you can.
This is why I actually eat cookies, so I don't say stuff that makes me sound stupid.
Okay. How's that strategy working for you?
Not great. Not great.
Underrated? I don't know.
I have one, but we haven't put it into production yet.
I'm not sure. I don't have super strong opinions on gear. I do have super strong opinions on the gear that works for me, but I don't have super strong opinions about what anyone else should do with their setup. So I think that I can't think of anything that's like a hidden gem, except maybe I guess this Canuck Outdoors water bladder. Those things are sweet. Oh, actually, I do have an answer for this. They're Park Tool GP2 sticker patches. They're intended for patching bike inner tubes. They actually don't work very well for that, but they work so great for patching tents, or not tents, sleeping pads, and actually even silicone water bladders. They can stand up to the pressure of that if they do spring a leak. Nobody knows about them, but I'm trying to spread the good word. So yes, they're way lighter and easier to use. They come in a little pack of 6, and they're like this big. So yeah, it works well.
I love his next question.
Yes, do you want to read it?
Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
Okay, I'll read it.
I want to hear your voice as you read it.
Will farts become weapons with the double quilt, or is it easy to bend the whole thing from one side?
I mean, you read it, but I think you should also answer it.
I mean, the fart's gonna become a weapon no matter what. There's nothing we can do about this.
Oh, it's okay.
This guy just makes smells.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have not made a smell in years.
You haven't made a smell in about 3 hours.
Years for me.
Okay.
It is years for me in my time frame.
Yes, dog years.
So, weapons? No, but might be rough.
They're less a weapon than an environmental hazard.
I tell her it's ambiance. I tell her it's just creating ambiance for the environment we're in and just creating like a nice romantic feeling, but she doesn't agree with me sometimes.
It is less the sleeping bag and more just like the tent that encloses the fart smell.
Stank bubble.
Yes.
So, yeah, I love that question. It's easy to vent the whole thing from one side. If it is, I'm assuming Magpie's going to want it vented from her side. So, yeah, I look forward to it.
I don't.
I know, you can see the pain in her eyes. It's okay. Okay, I'll read the next one. Relationship questions, new category. Amy Lipkin. How do you deal with setting the pace? If one of you wants to stop but the other is racing or raring to go?
I don't think we've really run into this issue too much before. We're both pretty considerate of one another's pace. I mean, most of the time it'll be that you are going a little bit faster than me, but we're also pretty independent. I mean,
it's a good blend.
Yeah, I'm faster in some places, you're faster in others. Yeah. For the most part, what we do is we talk about where we're gonna camp that night when we wake up in the morning, and we'll set out meetup spots throughout the day if we anticipate getting separated. So we're gonna say okay, we'll stop here for lunch, and the other person will wait there. But I don't think we've ever really had to negotiate around it too much, because we're both just we're a team, and generally speaking, we hike within eyesight of one another.
That's a very good answer. It's kind of an unspoken thing. It's we both hiked very similar styles, and we look out for each other. Like you said, we're
capable of a similar amount of miles per day, although the times when either one of us might be the faster one will trade off. It ends up averaging out. So
yeah. She answered it. I could throw my rambles into it, but she answered it very well. It's it's a team thing, and you look out for your partner, no matter if that's a loving partner
or just your buddy,
partner, trail family. You look out for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Kopke.
Oh wait, you read the last one. I'll do this one. Sarah Kepke, do you have a contingency plan if one of you gets injured or if there's some unforeseen issue which pulls you off trail? Would you possibly separate and one of you continue to hike or attempt the FKT another time?
We haven't talked about this, but for me, I don't see myself continuing to hike. I would stop. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was 2 days until the end,
then yeah,
I think we would just finish, but I don't want to hike 5 months alone on the North Country Trail without having Magpie around. I mean, that's not what I'm out there to hike for. I love.
I mean, if we had to pull off for one of us to rest an injury, I think we would just do that. We would just take a week off together and hang out. But
we did that on the Arizona Trail.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, and I mean, with the FKT, if we got injured for a week, our pace is still strong enough that we would be able to average it out again.
And I mean, I don't know, I'm not that attached to it being an FKT, honestly. It's just kind of a thing that we're doing.
It's ironically awesome to me.
Yeah, because it's the only known time, and therefore it's the fastest.
And it adds to the fun. I think because it's 4,600 miles.
It's a little bit of an extra push.
You gotta make your own fun, so it adds to that extra each day. So
okay, you can read the next one for me, Cham.
Continue to hike or attempt it. Did we answer this one fully?
Yep.
Yeah. HM. Does Magpie ever talk you out of your goal? Quote unquote goals. What does that mean? I thought goals is just a word. Why does it have to be put in quotations?
Read the question.
Does Magpie ever talk you out of your goals? Decided not to carry out any more food even though you were passing food spots and could have used some more food?
Yes, I do. I talk about dumb things all the time. I've probably
10 by 10.
I talk about 10 dumb ideas before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Every single day. I just talked him out of the dumb idea of only packing out protein bars and M&Ms for the first 5 days.
Oh, this Airbnb is gonna get some ramen donations. Let me tell you that.
No, it's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not cookie donations though. These will come in with us.
But I talk about dumb shit all the time.
Why do you sound so tired? Why do you sound so not all the time.
Oh, it's leaf blower. It's
10 before 10. Not
10 before 10.
Not 10 miles before 10 o'clock.
10 dumb ideas. Yeah.
That's on the low side.
Mark Ethan says, Constantine seems like he has a trail language all his own, above and beyond the normal lingo you hear on trail. If you watch enough videos, you frequently hear Constantine say things like cruisy, bouncy fun house castle.
I think it's bouncy castle house of fun. I'd probably say all combinations of those words.
Hody mody, and something about a 7-pound 8-ounce swaddle baby Jesus.
Golden fleece swaddle baby Jesus.
So how much of a through hiker's language comes from within, and how much comes from experiences / jokes hiking with others? I mean, I think a lot of his language just comes out of this dome.
It's a weird place.
It's a weird place in there. I've adopted some of Constantine's weird language too, though.
She puts the AGE on stuff now. You asked me to pass the sausage last night. Not sausage, the meat sausage, but sauce, ketchup or something, and then idge, sausage.
Yes.
You've used the 8. I've noticed
I
that.
like asked you to like give me like a can of juicage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's contagious. Hody Modi, I mean, I don't know where he got that one from.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does roll off the tongue. It's very easy. The 7-pound, 8-ounce swaddled baby Jesus, I
That
think,
was taken from somewhere.
originally was from Talladega Nights, but it's just like mutated.
Perfect for any
I remember when
experiences.
that one came into being, we were like joking about Will Ferrell movies. Yeah.
It's good for any scenario. Like when you're super thirsty or super hungry or whatever, it's like, oh, sweet 7-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus, all wrapped up, swaddled up in a golden fleece. It just feels right when it comes out.
It's pretty good.
So I don't know. It's a weird place to be in my own mind.
Yeah, he comes up with like new words all the time, as I'm sure you've noticed. It's all him.
But then it's weird that I forget about the word and then I find it again. It's I don't remember the word. I remember the feeling. So if I feel something, I'll say the same word.
Yeah.
So that's how it happens.
Yeah.
How much comes from experience? I bet some
I
of
think
it.
we answered it. Yeah.
I bet some of it comes from hiking with others. I don't know. This brain is a weird place. Charlotte Dunlay. Every name that I say, I'm gonna mispronounce. Y'all already know this, so I'm sorry in advance. Charlotte Dunlay, which of you is going to propose at the end of this trail? It would be a nice touch. Aww, that's very cute.
That is cute, Charlotte.
Who wants to answer?
I think we just won't.
We might not answer.
All right, general trail questions. Yay, I get to read this one. Jasper, my best friend, asks, 1, how do we sneak real food into Constantine?
Jasper, come on.
The answer is sneakily and also with nagging.
Jasper,
And also he actually does eat vegetables, so we just like joke about him being a trash boy.
I mean, I love cookies.
He does love cookies.
I love trash food. I also love being healthy.
He also likes salad. Yeah, Jasper met him when he was on like a dozen donuts a day kick.
Donut binge.
But that's not how he is most of the
I
time.
forgot. I must have looked so weird. I was pounding back donuts.
I mean, they knew you were weird. They'd already watched your videos.
Yeah, that's true. Jasper, you already knew what was up.
Jasper says, number 2, what section are you looking most forward to on the trail? I'm looking forward to the Boundary Waters a lot. I'm really excited for that.
I'm really looking forward to North Dakota as well.
I think it's going to be cool too. Yeah, we're going to go, I think, like through like the canyon lands and like the Badlands of North Dakota.
Badlands will be a little farther from the terminus.
That's true, yeah.
But we can connect it to the Badlands in like 70 or 80 miles if we want to.
Which we might not.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
going to be cool.
The barrenness of North Dakota is going to be cool. Like, trying to describe... It's going to be hard to say. Nothing is nothing. And when I say nothing is nothing, it means nothingness isn't nothing. Nothing is something. Something is nothing. It's a circular thing.
There's something to enjoy even in the most barren landscape is what he's trying to say.
That's what I'm looking forward to. But the nothingness of a built-up nothingness is different than a nothingness of a barren nothingness. Like, suburban sprawl nothingness, not great. Nothingness, super great. I'm going to stop rambling because I think if you know what I'm trying to say, you know it, and I'm just making it worse.
Yeah. Number 3, can Magpie's Gear Corner become a semi-regular segment?
I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I would happily do that. It'd probably be off trail, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be on the NCT, but off trail, yeah.
Number 4, what safety training do you both have and any gnarly stories?
Ooh, so I'm CPR and first aid certified. I was a rescue diver, got that certification back in 17 or 18?
A while ago.
A while ago. Technically, you have to recertify each year for the CPR. Each year or every 2 years. Technically, I'm not recertified as a CPR. I can't go give somebody CPR that I meet on the street, but I know enough of the skills and knowledge that if one of us got hurt, that enough of that knowledge is built in that we could do it safely.
Yeah. I have first aid training as well, just like through various work environments and also just for my own edification. I've taken some like basic wilderness first aid courses. Gnarly stories. I mean, I think the most gnarly one is when the agave spiked my knee.
Yeah, that's super gnarly.
It sucked really bad.
Yeah.
So an agave thorn, if you're unfamiliar, it's this like very spiky plant. It looks like an aloe vera, but it's got like these 2-inch long spikes at the end of it. And one of them went straight into my knee, and it just hit exactly in the wrong place. So it like popped under the tendon and went under the kneecap and hit the nerve. And then I pulled away from it, and it was fine. Like, there was nothing still lodged in it. It didn't look like that was that bad of an injury. But after I, like, sat down and then stood up, it aggravated the nerve pain so much that I was, like, hobbling by myself for about 6 miles, I think, to camp. Because we had already agreed on a place that we were going to camp. And I had asked him to leave me behind because I had to poop. And so I was like, oh fuck, no one's gonna come find me if I can't like get up.
Yeah.
I have the whole story on my blog. It was really dramatic and really upsetting. So you can find that. Yeah.
That's the most pain I've ever seen her in.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was like leg on fire, like chew your arm off nerve pain. It was so bad.
Me, the most gnarly was the hyperthermia on the GDT.
That was
Jasper,
bad too.
you already saw that. So hypothermia is bad, okay?
Yeah, hypothermia is really bad. All right, it's my turn to read, I guess, because you're eating a cookie. DCW Creations 1 says, I thought you both always filtered water. I was surprised when Constantine said on the Florida Trail he didn't filter much water. The question is, isn't that a big risk to take you off trail? We love you guys, so take care of each other. That's a long time of being tired and wore out. Stay safe.
Yeah.
He should filter water more. He is so risky with it. I nag him about this all the time. It's actually one of the dumb ideas I frequently talk him out of.
You kind of said it at the end of that. It's just, we wore, Hardy and I, Hardy actually filtered water all the time. I'm just weird with the fact that I was just very tired and worn out every day. We were doing right around 40s every day, and for me, at least when I'm pushing those types of miles, I know every hiker is different, is stopping for 5 or 10 seconds super bothers me. Like, it really bothers me stopping.
He doesn't take breaks.
Yeah.
I have to every time be the one to like make us take a break and stop, or be like, I need water, you need water, you're dehydrated, we're stopping now. And he does listen to me, but he will never be the one to say like, I need a break. It's always on me to like monitor both of us and monitor both of our hydration levels and insist on it, which I don't mind doing.
Yeah, 5 or 10. Well, like, I'll drink water, but the stops I'll take is a second of dipping my bottle in a source and putting it in my pack and continuing. For some reason, this has been like in the last year or two, as the pace has grown and the hiking style has continued to go harder, it's just something that is a pet peeve. And
it's a really risky decision though,
risky,
and I don't
do
think that he should keep doing it. Like, I'm going to insist that he doesn't do it, because you're right, that is a stupid reason to get off
it
trail.
is a very stupid reason. And
Yeah, you just don't think long term. You get like tunnel vision on your immediate goal.
I think long term with the water, it's just with the water, I also.
Well, you just don't think
also,
about like if you have to stop to poop every 5 minutes, it's gonna slow down your pace way more.
PNT.
That's true. Yeah.
I also I don't know what the word for it is for. I believe my body is something that it probably is not. I believe that I have experienced contaminated water enough that my gut is like an iron thing, which I know it's not.
The more you're exposed to that kind of thing, like the worse your reaction can get. You can like become more sensitized over time.
Thoughts manifest into realness, and I believe that I won't get sick.
All right, it's your turn to read again. Finish your cookie.
Okay, Kyle Payson. What are some tips you have for staying positive and motivated while on a through hike? Do you find it harder to be positive on the lesser known systems where you aren't running into as many hikers?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't do a ton of these lesser known trails. On the Great Divide Trail, what kept us positive and motivated was like, if we don't keep moving, we'll die. So that was fun.
That did keep us motivated.
But I mean, also I think we find the challenge motivating, just like the feeling of like testing yourself against harder and harder obstacles. And actually, since the GDT, I was just saying this, wow, someone's really going to town with the leaf blower. Sorry about that, guys.
I'm gonna close the window.
Since the GDT, I actually find it motivating that we got through something that was that horrendously difficult every single day, because now whenever we're like, oh, it's gonna rain, it's just like, well, we've been through worse. So it keeps me real positive.
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as harder to stay positive on the lesser known trails and motivated, I mean, hiking together, that's a big part.
Yeah.
Like, the lesser known trails that I've done without Magpie, it's harder to dig deeper to find that motivation. I'm a people person. I want to hike with other hikers. Of course, I want to hike with my partner.
Yeah.
It's the New England Trail. Near the end of that, I was talking in the videos. It takes more to find that motivation, and some people purely go out to hike to be alone and to experience that.
Which is part of why I go out to hike,
Which
actually.
is awesome. Yeah.
I really enjoy alone time on trail, even though I also love this guy.
Yeah, but my passion is hiking with others, so I would say so. I would say yes.
In the Dirt asks, have you seen any magpies on your hikes? Besides the one that's hiking, that is. I think I've only seen them in zoos. Could be where I'm from, there aren't many.
Montana, there are thousands.
So many.
thousands in
Montana, Alberta. I've seen magpies in like Northern California and Oregon.
Yeah,
They're pretty common in the western half of the United States.
East not so much.
East not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, and if there's a lot of crows around, you usually won't find any magpies because you are in the same ecological niche, and so the crows will usually outcompete magpies where there are crows.
But even all the thousands I've seen, never seen one as beautiful as this one.
Love you.
Oh, love you.
All right, Jim Harder.
Jim Harder. Hardier. How did you get your trail names? Constantine. We'll start.
Yeah.
We'll just start with that one. How did you get your trail names?
So my trail name Magpie came on the Continental Divide Trail. So I started going southbound
Oh, Jesus.
because I wanted to do it the hardest way first because I didn't know if I'd do another through hike.
Oh, Jesus.
And I wanted to do the hardest one to know I could. So anyway, when you're
Nuts.
going southbound on the CDT, your first couple of resupply stops are at these pretty rustic campgrounds. And so it had happened a couple of times in a row that you're going to be quite distracting, you know.
Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Oh.
So it happened that a couple campgrounds in a row, like these faucet fixtures kept coming off in my hand. And one day when I was doing sink laundry, I almost ended up packing out like a soap dish and made some joke about like, oh, I'm collecting shiny objects, I'm a magpie, ha 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 ha. And my friend that I was with was like, that's your trail name, you're a magpie. And it kind of made sense. I was like wearing a lot of jewelry, and I also had like a teal like turquoise streak in my hair at the time, so I kind of looked like a magpie.
She likes shiny objects.
I do like shiny things.
She gets distracted by shiny
I also
objects.
pick up a lot of like micro trash on trail that's shiny.
She gets
So it worked
distracted
on a
by
bunch of
shiny
levels.
words. She gets distracted by stuff that's shiny in all sense of the word. Not just shiny like shine, but like
I think
shiny
that's
like
more
fun.
you than me, maybe.
Yeah, I get distracted by shiny stuff too.
How'd you get your trail name, Constantine?
Not a great story. I mean, it's Georgia AT. I feel like I've told this story 1,000 times. Georgia AT. I had the name Icy Hot because I rolled into a shelter and I was getting close to that hypothermia level, just shivering uncontrollably. Dumped some hot sauce in some ramen, and then the shivering stopped. So Icy Hot. Hiked with a buddy the next day, and he's like, too much of a mouthful. So back in Georgia, when I was first getting into hiking, 2016, I was just all upper body.
Yeah.
Like, I was like one of those cartoon characters that was just...
He was like a no-neck bulldog, basically.
Yeah. My coach made me just weightlift all the time, but... So, my lower body wasn't great. Still had a dog, but we'll leave that for other times.
Yes.
So Georgia, yeah. I got distracted by a shiny object.
Yes, you did. Keep going about the cussing up the mountain and praising down the mountain.
Uh-huh.
And somebody commented, I don't remember who it was, but somebody commented that he was like the character in this like very bad 90s movie called Constantine.
Still have not seen.
Which we still haven't seen because it looks awful. Who's like half demon, half angel, and I guess Constantine just stuck.
And I'm thinking, the longer Magpie and I hike together, you probably think I am half demon, half angel. With the farts.
Yeah, that's definitely demonic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, Constantine, your pace is super fast. What is your pace, Magpie?
Oh, I could have read that question, but yeah.
About the same. Yeah, I'm pretty fast. I'm not pushing 40s the way Constantine is, just because I like enjoy having lunch and taking breaks. But I am actually like, my legs are quite a bit longer than his, so I can keep up with him in terms of our actual like mile per hour pace. I just like will enforce break times and be like, we're going to be more efficient if we actually rest.
It's the same pace. If you're hiking
same
for
pace.
12 to 15 hours, I've noticed when we've hiked
It
together,
averages out, even though I rest more.
Yeah, in the mornings, I'll have more pep in my step, and I might go a little faster. Middays, Magpie, when I say middays, it's like the bubble around like early morning and late night. She has the most energy, which I'm jealous of during the day because I want to have energy during the day and I'll just crash all the damn time. Shouldn't have cussed, but yeah, so Magpie will have the big bubble of energy in the day, and then near the tail end, once we're getting to camp, I find joy in pushing the mind when we're pushing big miles. So like, you put all that together, it averages out.
It does. So how did you train to get such a fast pace? Do you run in the off season?
Run?
No.
No.
We both hate running.
I can't stand running.
No, I don't even really exercise. Like, people are like, oh, you're a thru hiker, you must be so athletic. Like, do you work out? I'm like, no, never. Never exercise. Hiking's not exercise. I despise it. I refuse to. I'll go skiing, but that's like fun. I don't exercise, no.
I've described this as well. This is my thought around this. Is we've been hiking for so long that it's micro changes over each year. So instead of breaking your body and just going after a super fast pace that you have to break into, it's just come naturally.
Yeah.
So like as you continue hiking year after year after year after year, the longer you're on trail, you're gonna go faster.
Yeah, you become more aware of your stride. You can like find the most efficient pace for yourself, the best stride length, sort of the best like place to land on your feet. Like I think a lot about the biomechanics of walking with a pack and like where is my weight balancing, what am I doing with my breath. I find that very like meditative, and I find it very entertaining on trail also to think about all of that biomechanical input. And I mean the other thing too for training the body, nothing is going to prepare you for being on your feet for 14 hours a day with a weighted pack except being on your feet with a weighted pack.
So it's just we've done it for so long.
Well, and we also do like some training hikes, you know, like we'll load up the packs heavy and go for a long walk around town. But I mean, I also have a physical job where I'm on my feet all day. And I think that is probably the best training, that I'm not sitting in a chair. 90% of the time I'm on my feet or lying down. And that's crucial for getting the feet into shape.
And I will work out in the off season. Nothing nuts though. Miles each day, some upper body.
He likes working out because he's crazy.
Yeah. I guess. The best way I can describe it is in 2016, 2 miles was an average pace, and then you would have to reach to 2.5, 3. 2017, 2.5 was average, you'd have to reach to 3 and 3.5. 18, 3 was average, you'd have to reach to 3.5, 4. 19, 3.5 was kind of average, you would have to reach until 4 and 5. 4 and 4.5.
Yeah, we're just getting faster every year.
So like you would increase by a half-mile increment.
And our packs are getting lighter as we are able to invest in lighter and lighter gear. Like it's not like we went out and bought all the light stuff at once. It's more that you build your gear piecemeal by upgrading one major thing every year if you want to. And so as your pack gets lighter and lighter, you get smarter and smarter about how to use your body, you get smarter and smarter about how to pack your pack, then your pace will naturally increase.
The changes that you don't push for, that just come naturally, are the best changes.
Yeah. So Robert Asselford and Jim Harder asked, I don't know anymore.
Okay.
What do you do to earn money / what do you do for a living to afford all the through hikes? And Jim also asked, did you win the Canadian lottery?
Did not know there was a Canadian lottery.
Of course there's.
I'm kind of tempted to enter the Canadian lottery now. For me, it's been us for the past 2 years, but for me, before we were together, it was working. I'm a workaholic off season, and I would work 2 jobs. Nobody. I would work 2 jobs. I would work at construction as well as rental agency, and I would work 7 days a week while I was off trail and just brutalize myself every year. And it was a vicious cycle. I would have to go back out because I was super stressed. And then since we've been together, we founded 11 Skies, and
I mean, this winter he still went back and worked for the construction company.
Rental company.
Oh right, you still worked this winter, so.
I've always had 2 jobs. So this past winter, it was just, we knew we were going to be on trail for so long this year, as well as a lot of money has to be put into a business for it to grow. So having that little extra buffer, I wanted to be able to work a little bit more. So it's just making it work. I don't know really how to answer that besides you got to work to be able to do what you want. And we both work really hard in the off season to do what we love. So
well, and then in the off season I work for a backcountry ski outfitter and gear store. And you know, Whistler's a pretty expensive area, so up until this past year, up until 2020, I was actually living out of my van to save money, which worked out really well because Whistler's a very high cost of living area. Wages are also high to compensate for that, but if you find a cheap way to live in Whistler, then you know you can sock a lot of that money away. I was also just really broke a lot of the time. Like I ate ramen for dinner on trail, off trail, all the time. I saved my money like crazy. You know, I used to work when I lived in Montreal, I worked in a warehouse doing the graveyard shift because it was another couple extra bucks an hour. And then I also had a second job cleaning houses. I've done food delivery. I just string together as many gigs as I can to be able to just barely afford to go through hiking. But part of it too is like, in a way, I did kind of win the Canadian lottery because not a lot of people talk about this a lot, but like there is a certain amount of like middle class safety that we both have, knowing that we have people in our lives that we can fall back on. Like I feel comfortable, or I used to anyway, feel comfortable coming back home with, you know, $38 in my pocket and knowing that I can always crash on a friend's couch, or knowing that I can always stay with my parents, or that like they can bail me out if I really get into trouble.
$38.
Yeah, I came back from the CDT with $38.
I would not be happy with that.
I wasn't pleased, but so you know, that level of comfort of knowing that I have a safety net really helps with being able to afford these trips even on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, if you love what you do, you're gonna find a way to make it work. And we've both done interviews on it, talking about it super in depth about what we individually do to make it work. Whatever you love, you're gonna make it work. You're gonna string together a lot of jobs. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna do a lot of crap that you
Get
don't want.
4 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah, you're gonna do a lot of crap that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Go make it work. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
All right, I think it's your turn to read.
I want to go into the Canadian lottery now. I would like to be rolling in the dough. Also, Little Debbie's. If we can make that sponsorship work, we never have to buy food on trail again. So that would help us as well. What's Robert Astleford? What's your favorite type of terrain to hike in? Desert.
Hard question. Yeah, desert's probably up there. I also really love the Pacific Northwest though too.
Desert.
Especially when you get into those like high peaks. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Black Eagle says, of all the hikes you've done, are there any sections that stand out as your favorites, particularly in the Northwest where I live? Thanks.
Ooh.
I would say definitely the Pacific Northwest Trail is just
the entire
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is beautiful, but if you're gonna do any section, yeah, the Yak area in Montana, but then also farther west, the Cascades, where it intersects with the PCT is also.
Or Lion's Head Alternate.
The Lion's Head Alternate is awesome.
Yes.
It's tough. It's a bushwhack, but it's so cool.
And that drops you down into the Priest Lakes. That is part of the Centennial Trail,
Yeah.
Idaho Centennial.
That's a beautiful
Idaho's
area.
awesome. We gotta hike.
We gotta hike the Centennial Trail.
Yeah.
Your turn to read.
Jim Harder, what are your favorite trails in order?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's a lot.
And if you could section hike only one, I'm assuming you mean for the rest of our life, what would that be? Wow, dude.
I don't even know how to answer that question. How can you pick a favorite trail? It's like picking a favorite child.
Oh. In order.
Yeah.
Starting from favorite to least favorite?
I don't even want to try. Like, I can't even.
It would be very hard. I'd have to put way more thought than just gut feeling on that because each trail is so different. You can't
If there was
compare
any
them.
trail, though, that I was going to only section hike, I would probably choose the CDT.
Coyote Trail?
No. I would choose the CDT probably because it's so remote and you get such varied terrain. You go through like several different kinds of mountain formations. You get the desert, you get the grassland, you get the Great Basin, which is like a high altitude desert, which is a whole different thing.
Love the basin.
Yeah, you could definitely
San
like
Juan's in
live your
Colorado.
life section hiking the CDT.
The Wind River Range in Wyoming.
Yeah, there's so
CDT.
many good parts of the CDT to section hike.
Because that question also, we're picking the biggest one that we've hiked so far.
Yeah.
Because it's just the longest. You have the most variety of the trail.
And it's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CDT.
Yeah. So John Smith says, with your GDT adventure being so much off trail and just point to point without a real trail, do you ever get the hunger for hiking a non-trail terrain, not following someone's other idea? Do you think that the next step after all these miles would be to explore some remote region? I've read that most of the Canadian backcountry is not explored, but it's also brutal with a lot of mosquitoes and bushwhacking, so it's a totally different thing than through hiking.
I say yes and no.
I really like bushwhacky travel, but
Me too.
I think I really prefer doing it on an established route.
Yes. And reason I say yes and no is no for next year because we want to actually
Have fun.
We'll probably have some bushwhacks in these trail systems we do,
But only because we want to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
As for what that's asking, like if we actually want to create a route way in the backcountry, I see that going down one year.
Yeah,
Just maybe
probably
not
we
next
will
year.
at some
Yeah.
point. I mean, yeah, I really like traveling without a trail, and I really love my favorite sort of type of trail to do is stuff like the PNT and the CDT, where it's a little bit less established and it's a little bit more like choose your own adventure. It's like, as long as you get to this bridge, you were on trail. I love that feeling of like getting to decide where I want to walk and really exploring. So I think that's definitely appealing.
And this ties into the question about the motivation on the lesser known trails. We have this conversation all the time because we both have been doing these lesser known trails together. We miss other hikers.
Yeah.
We miss a trail that is like, the AT's a lot of hikers, but we were watching AT videos the other night
And we were like, man, we miss hiking.
you feel nostalgic. Like it's just so much support and community around it that's where we're gonna probably lean towards maybe next year, even on some of the
We're gonna
grab
try to
bag
get
trails.
some of our buddies like to come with
Yeah.
us so that we can crew up. Einstein, I'm talking to you. Yeah.
It's great through the communities of the lesser known trails that you get to have those conversations with people that don't know they live right on the trail and spreading that awareness. But it's also a lot of work.
I miss talking to other hikers.
I miss getting to a town and there's 20 to 25 other
just
hikers.
Posted up, like crushing ice cream, drinking beer.
You're not getting looked like you're trash.
Yeah.
So that's a hard question. We're both very fondly thinking of like PCT, AT, CDT, the big three. Just miss them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, we've got some very super serious questions coming up. Are you ready for these?
Yes.
All right, here's an easy one from Mark Cummings. What are your favorite kind of donuts from Dunkin', and what are your favorite combos? Obviously, pizza combos are the way.
Obviously,
I'm
agreed
the pretzel
on that,
pizza combos are just.
They have pepperoni pizza ones now too.
Ooh.
Oh, they have buffalo blue cheese. That's mine. Buffalo
yeah,
blue
that
cheese.
one is good too. Okay, but I'm a pizza gal at heart.
Yeah.
I don't eat donuts on trail.
Me neither. No.
No, never.
No,
What's your
once.
favorite Dunkin' donut?
I don't know. What are donuts? I haven't tried it.
I don't know. I don't know her.
I haven't tried
I've
it.
gone blind to them.
I haven't tried a donut. What's a donut?
Donut?
A donut.
All right.
I don't know. Give me a donut and we'll find out. I have no idea. Any type of donuts, not cream filled. Any type of donuts, not cream filled. Any type of donuts.
He doesn't like fillings that go goosh.
I'm going back and forth because that
This is how he
question.
explained this to me, that he doesn't like pie because it goes goosh. And I was like, does it? I don't know if that's the sound pie makes.
It is. I'm going back and forth on that question because if I'm on trail, I'm not going to say no to any donuts, but I don't really have a favorite donut as long as it doesn't
Go goosh.
go whoosh. Yes.
All right, read the next one.
Laugh out loud. He does like.
From Cindy Baxter. Oh, Candy Baxter, sorry.
We don't know this. But Candy Baxter, laugh out loud. He does like talking. Excuse me, I do not like talking. When have I ever talked? Do you ever skinny dip?
I do. He doesn't too much.
I have.
Yeah, it's not your deal. I like being naked outside. That's now a thing you know about me. I like to get naked in the outdoors, especially when there's like a nice lake involved.
It's too cold in lakes for me not to have something holding the boys together. I know you want some vividity.
Vivid images.
I like vividity.
All right.
I know you want some vividity to that mental image, but you don't want the bits and bobs bobbing and bitsing in the water when you're in a lake or a river with other bobs and bits that are bobbing in there looking for bits and bobs. And I said bits and bobs a lot. You don't want dangle dongle dingles.
Yes.
I like that.
So Hardy Trails. Hi, Hardy. Very cute.
Oh.
I love it. It says, LOL, I got a question. Will the truth around the hashtag Allowgate conspiracy ever be confirmed?
I don't know, man.
Hardy.
Allowgate's a real thing.
Hardy, Allowgate is real. I got a freaking tattoo on my knee about it. Does that look like a conspiracy theory to you?
Well, he's saying Allowgate. If we're saying Allowgate's real, he's saying that the conspiracy's real around Allowgate.
No, there was no Allowgate conspiracy. We weren't trying to dish you. I got hurt, man. I got hurt.
He knows. He's just joking with us.
I know.
What Allowgate refers to is
my experience getting stabbed with an aloe. We lost track of Cy and Hardy because they got ahead of us. So.
And when I hiked with Hardy this year on the Florida Trail, we were talking about group hiking and stuff like that, and how we missed our original group on the PNT.
Yeah.
And he's like, I forget how it came up, but it was just like, it was having fun around the subject of, just you guys wanted to drop back and spend some time just together. And it's like, dude, no, we would have loved hiking with both you and Cy. We like people. We're passionate about other hikers, so.
Yeah, we missed you guys.
Allowgate is not real, Hardy. Stop playing around, man. And stop telling on me, man. For real. Stop telling on me. It's not good.
All right, you read this last one.
Jay, dude, you always gotta ask me this. Will there be leprechauns? I mean,
I've never seen one jump.
I've never seen one bounce either. But they might be dancing out there.
Who knows? We'll find out if there's leprechauns for you, Jay.
I will continue to look.
All right.
Was that all of them?
That's it.
No way.
We're done.
No way.
Yeah.
Did we just cruise through that quickly?
Yeah, we cruised. I mean, it's been, an hour.
How do you open this up?
Just click up. There you go.
No way.
Yeah, that's all the questions that we got.
Did we just continue to ramble that quick?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought we answered every single one of these questions.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I answered questions. Did I just eat cookies?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Next time you hear from us, we'll be on trail. So we'll talk to you guys soon. We're really excited to get going.
Before we go,
yep.
We'll talk, just update everything that's going on, where they can follow us. Fastest known time, we now have our Garmin linked up.
So you find that in the description.
In the description. You'll find all our social media platforms, that you can follow pictures, videos. I mean, you're watching this video. All that stuff, description.
Yeah.
You can follow Magpie's blog, description. Everything you need to find is in the description. So yeah, next time you see us.
We'll be on trail.
Very cool.
Bye.
Bye. One more cookie? One more cookie. I'm actually feeling a little sick from how many cookies I ate during that filming.
Oh yeah?